I would advise you to stop struggling, Highness. You're only hurting yourself. Oh, please, Highness, spare me the angry glare. You surely must have seen this coming. I mean, you are the royal heir, and I am, after all, a cunning thief. Honestly, it was too easy to get you, Highness. If you ever get back to your kingdom, I'd have a strong chat with your knights. Such language! Well, get it out of your system. We have a long carriage ride to the rendezvous point. I'm ransoming you. Sorry, I thought I made that obvious. Why? Rather, why not, Highness? Like I said, times are tough, and everyone needs a way to survive. You wouldn't understand, though, would you? Living life in that cushy palace, never experiencing how rough life outside the palace walls are. Oh, please. Do you actually believe all that nonsense? Tell me something, Highness. When was the last time you left and walked along your people, seeing how they live? Oh, yes, curse my name. One who knows nothing can understand nothing. Then let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a dutiful knight. A dutiful knight, one who served the royal family well. But as this knight grew older, the royal family took him for granted. They kept in service long when he should have been able to retire. His family watched as he took on more and more quests, until one day he never came home. He was forgotten. And what of his widow? Was she taken care of? No. She was tossed aside like trash. And his child? That poor child lost both parents. One to death, and the other to despair. A tragic story, isn't it, Highness? Not really like one of those fairy tales I'm sure you were read to every night. No happy endings. The good knight doesn't get his just reward, but that is life, isn't it, Highness? Suffering and pain. Something that you should know, too. Countless others have. Well, try not to take it too personally, Highness. This really isn't about you. More about what you represent. You are the precious golden child of the kingdom, after all. A symbol of hope for the future. Taking you, well, it may be the only way to get your parents to understand true pain. Innocent! Surely you've heard of the sins of your father. How do you know that name? Tell me quickly, Highness, before I lose my temper. Calling me surprised. You remember me. No, Highness, this thief has come a long way from the child you used to play with in the gardens. Funny how grief and despair can harden a person. Stop calling me that. That person is dead. He died the moment that his father did. And once more when his mother died. Do you understand, Highness? Do you understand the depths of grief I went through? I wished for death because every second I was alive hurt. A horrible burning pain. But alas, I survived. I grew strong. And I planned for this day. Afraid that this tender reunion won't change that. Besides, Highness, when was the last time you spared a thought for a commoner such as I? That's what I thought. Really, though, it's nothing personal, Highness. At least not towards you. Now, I suggest you simply relax. I would hate to have to mar your lovely face by knocking you unconscious. You may call me that if you wish. Trust me, I've been called worse. I'm afraid no one is coming, Highness. No one knows you've been taken. But never fear, unless you give me cause to. I shall not harm you. I know that might not mean much coming from the person who took you, but it is true. My quarrel is not with you, after all. You are simply just a symbol of the corruption that rots this kingdom. Oh, spare me the lecture, Highness. It won't do you any good. My mind is already made up. Until the ransom is in my hand, you are stuck with me. Might as well try to make the journey pleasant. Now, if you promise not to do anything foolish, I will undo the ropes. Agreed? There we are. Much more comfortable, isn't it? Like I said, my quarrel isn't with you. I have no desire to enact revenge on you. You are just simply the means to an end. What happened to me is what happens to everyone not born with a silver spoon in their mouth, Highness. I grew up. I was forced to survive. I made difficult choices, ones that you would never face. Oh, please. I expect now you're going to tell me some sob story about how one day Daddy wouldn't buy you an island or a castle. Whatever struggles you claim to have been through, they're not the same as mine. And they never will be. Now, I suggest you relax. We're going to be together for quite a while, after all. I would hate to make this time unpleasant. Here. It's a handkerchief, not a knife. Take it. Dry your eyes. I'm a thief, Highness, but I'm not heartless. I can understand how distressing this situation may be. Rest assured you will be returned in one piece. As soon as I get my money, you'll be free to go. So, try to calm yourself. There are worse fates for someone like you. I'm sure you know how many enemies your family has. I mean, if one of them got their grubby hands on you, who knows what would happen? Here, change into these. Well, you didn't think I'd take you out in a crown, did you? Nothing so suspicious like that. No, Highness, for the duration of this trip, you'll be a commoner such as I. Makes it easier to travel. I'll step outside, change, and then we'll be heading out on horseback. Well, well. Don't you look like a marvelous peasant? I trust the fabric isn't too rough on your delicate skin. The glare again. Really, Highness? If I were any less of a thief, I might be frightened by it. Now, take my hand. Do it. I'll help you onto the horse. We've got to keep moving. Good. Now hold on. I tend to ride a bit fast.